Good morning, everybody. Good morning from Wimbledon Spiritualist Church. For those who don't know me, my name is Ray Robinson. I am one of the presidents of the church. I'm joint president along with my wife, Jackie. The church is looking very beautiful today. Extra, we've got the sunlight shining through, but we also had a socially distant wedding yesterday with 6 people, and it really was a glorious day. It really was quite fantastic. And I just want to share one other little thing with you all. You've heard me over the last few months asking for healing for our daughter Rachel. Well, I'm pleased to say on Tuesday she gave birth to a little boy called Jack. He was £8.13, big boy, and he has had some little minor health issues which are still ongoing, but mum and baby went home on Thursday night and they're all together with dad and they're looking pretty good. His full name is Jack Richard Davis. So I welcome him to the family, and we will be having a naming service here eventually in time. So I'd like to welcome to the platform this morning our medium, Jeff Hewitt, and ask Jeff to open with prayer.
Good morning, everybody. A very warm welcome to today's service. Thank you very much, Ray, and thank you very much, Jackie, for having me here serve the Wimbledon Spiritualist Church today. So without further ado, we're going to start by opening in prayer. So if we all bow our heads in prayer. Loving Father God, Divine Spirit, we thank you for this opportunity to come here today, albeit virtually, to link with our loved ones in the spirit world, and to have that time where we can reflect and go inward spiritually, and also perhaps to review our own lives and where we are at this moment, and send our thoughts up to the spirit world. And so we'd like to thank those in the spirit world for any help that they might have given us in our lives, no matter how subtle that might have been. And we know that spirit have proved themselves to some of us, that they are around us. Others, it might seem like a fleeting thought, and we wonder if the spirit world are really around us. But with that faith that we have, and with that knowledge of spirit, of life after death, and of that spirituality that runs through all things, we do know that with a higher power, our lives are guided, and we are all here for a purpose. And we thank the higher spiritual forces for that. If we are feeling lost, we're not afraid to ask for that help, that Spirit might show us that way, or some guidance to help us get back on our feet. We enter through this prayer that part of stillness which is within ourselves, that part within ourselves which is knowing, which is loving, that is spiritual, that is divine. As we ask that this service might be guided by Spirit. In your name, which is love. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much, Jeff. Now, I wish you to all keep that prayerful thought at this moment of time, and we're going to do some prayers for healing. Healing of mind, body and spirit. Healing for those names deeply inscribed in our hearts and our minds. Healing for our loved ones, and healing for those whose names are also in other churches' prayer books. Especially we think this morning of the royal family and their bereavement, and we know that God will comfort them in their time of need. But especially this morning, I'm asking for Rachel, Sean, and baby Jack, Jill, Kelly and Stephen, Barbara, Tim, Amber, Jackie, Nick, Elizabeth, Val, and 2 people with cancer, Marion and Claire. And in our prayers this morning, can we think of the families of Jackie England, who passed to spirit earlier this week, and also for Antoine and his family who passed to spirit this week. And we send light and strength to them all. And we've been asked by both those families to mention them in our prayers this morning. So we ask a blessing upon them all, and we know, according to divine law, thy will shall always be done. Amen. Let us now say the Serenity Prayer. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. I ask you all to say that throughout the coming days and weeks. It helps you get through the days. I know how much it's helped local people, church and other friends when they have reached difficult situations, either through the lockdown or health. That has helped them face forward and go forward with strength, and to let them know also they're not alone when many of us are saying those words together. For those who can, we'll ask for a collection through PayPal. It's a way of keeping our church paid. We're having to still do a few odd repairs. We've had another one found recently, another one needs doing. So I'll ask for that. And the website to pay is www.paypal.com, PayPalMe at LAD Promotions. It may even come up United Spiritualist Confederation, but that goes straight to the church, and it helps keep the church doors eventually open, though they're closed at the moment. But it does help the work of the church and the mission. So I'll say hello to a few names on screen now. Good morning, Jim. I hope you have a good day. Lynn Brown, good morning, Lynn. Hope you're okay. Stacey, good morning. Hope you're well. Tracy Honey, good morning. And I'm just going to say happy birthday, Tracy. I'm going to mention you later. We've got a few birthdays to mention today, so happy birthday, darling. I know you've had a tough couple of days. Vicky Taylor, good morning. Cheryl Boxall, good morning. I hope you're well since we last saw you. Tina, good morning and welcome to our service. Natalie, good morning. Hope you're okay. Martina, good morning. You look lovely in your wedding dress. We had a wedding here yesterday. Lorna, good morning, darling. Hope you're well. Emma Butler, good morning and welcome to our church. Cheers to you as well. Joe, good morning. Hope you're well. Couple more. Michelle Harris, good morning. And Joe Smith. Thank you very much all for joining us, and the many more that are out there. And I'd like to remind everybody, we are streaming live. This is not a recorded show. We are streaming live both on Facebook and YouTube. So please don't forget that. And please also sign up to be a patron of Spiritual Psychics TV. It helps the whole aspect of the movement that we're doing. So I hope you have a great day, all of you, and so much enjoy the service. And we move along now, where I've got the reading this morning. It's from a book we found recently in our church library. It's More Teachings of Silverbirch. It's only a short paragraph today, friends. When you see your reflection in the mirror, you are not looking at the individual, but merely the semblance. The physical is but the garment mankind wears, the means by which it expresses itself in the world of matter. Your body is not you. You are an eternal spirit, part of the life force that sustains the whole universe, part of that power that fashioned the whole planetary system, that governs and ebbs and flows and tides, that regulates the eternal cycle of all seasons and controls the growth of evolution and enables the sun to shine and the stars twinkle. You are divine, just as divine as the Great Spirit. For what purpose is that power passes over to you is for you to become part of the Great Spirit. And that transcends all material conceptions, it transcends all physical limitations, it's greater than anything that you as human can conceive. So we ask a blessing upon those words and the blessings of Silverbirch. Some people think Silverbirch is so old-fashioned of today, but I think his teachings and his meaning has so much. And if any of you do get books or want to buy books on spiritualism, Silverbirch is one of the good ones, White Eagle, and so many more. And there are many other books available on this subject. So friends, we're now going to have the address from our visiting medium, who is Jeff Hewitt this morning. Thank you, friends.
Good morning again. Thank you very much, Ray. Now, when you're doing spiritual work, quite often they say link to your inspirers and link to your guides. So I was wondering, should I prepare something in advance or should I just speak off the cuff? And so I think I'll do a bit of both, actually. So many years ago, I was reading a book by an Indian mystic called Paramahansa Yogananda, and he went to America, actually, and I think it was in the 30s, 20s and 30s. And I was reading his book, and I had I think by chance, because it was before I was into the spiritual movement, as it were, I think I made a connection with him because I started having some strange experiences. And one of those experiences was exactly what Ray's just read, that everything is divine. And to sort of take it to an extreme, even a chair leg has a divinity. A brick has a divinity. But we just look at it and we go, oh, well, it's a chair leg and it serves that purpose, and that's a brick and it serves that purpose, and of course it does. But absolutely everything in life and all of the experiences of life, and that does include the good, bad, and the indifferent, is all a part of God, and it's all divine. And the thing about that experience was that I felt that I was wound back in time, and then I was wound forward back to where I was at the moment, and it was that every single thing had been divine, really, of course, since the beginning of time, and it was something that stayed with me because it was very profound. And the reason I'm saying that is, you talking about this is because it mirrors what Ray was just saying from Silver Birch. And Ray said, I got a text about 5 days ago to say, would you come along today? And the last time that I worked here, the night before, I woke up in the middle of the night and I thought, oh goodness, what if I can't link to spirit, or what if they don't come through or something? And my own self-doubt. And seriously, without a word of a lie, I got a song in my head, which was from Spirit, and it was The Wombles of Wimbledon. And I thought, what on earth is this? And I was trying to think of the words to see if there was a message. I couldn't, so I went back to sleep. And I got back in the morning. I got a cab here, and I was in the cab, and they started playing this song again in my head, really quite vividly. And I was like, wow, well, maybe this is the first message to the first person. And so I still had all that sort of dread and doubt. And then I came here, and I was pacing up and down the church and thinking, oh, well, I think that must be the first message. Okay, so that's the first message, because that's why they've put it in my head. And almost on that thought, as I was pacing up and down, I spotted, without a word of a lie, there's some steps here going down to the main, where everybody sits. And there was a ceramic figure of a womble. And it had never been here before. And I was like, oh my goodness, that's my sign from Spirit. Why are you doubting yourself? Why are you doubting Spirit? After all of these years as well, I don't know, 15 years is it? I've been working as a medium. So why am I being so doubtful? So Spirit were backing me up. So that was my sign. And after that, having that sign, I just completely relaxed. All my tension went away, and I thought, well, I'm going to enjoy myself, and I know Spirit won't let me down, because they'd sort of said, why, so that was it. Now this time, I feel the opposite. I feel like I've been lulled into a sense of, not complacency, but I'm thinking, why aren't I nervous? Oh, maybe, why haven't I been meditating for half an hour every day for the last 5 days? So I've gone from one extreme to another. But Spirit have backed me up in the past. And what this all boils down to, of course, is faith and trust. And when you work as a medium, you don't have a script, you don't have something that you can read, you don't have something that, although you do learn it to a point, but it's not something that you learn by rote, and you don't know who's going to come through. So it's all about trust, and it's all about faith. And this can go over to everybody in life, with what you're doing in life, with what you've believed in, with what you're aiming for. You do have to have that trust and faith. Oh, Petra's saying, how strange, I heard that song in my head this morning. Ah, well, I think maybe then you can take the same message. Are you being complacent, or do you need a bit of extra, a bit of extra encouragement?
She supports Wombles as well.
So I thought that was quite an extraordinary bit of backup from the spirit world, and I thank them very much for that. I had a suspicion, apparently the medium the week or 2 weeks before had given this ceramic Womble to Ray and Jackie as a gift, and that's why it was there on the stairs, because I'd never seen it there before. So thank you for listening to my little story, and to those experiences that happened to me, which was sort of a good 20 plus years ago, to do with the spiritual book Paramahansa Yogananda. And just before I finish off, if you are on a journey of self-discovery, of not just about yourself, but about life as well, there are so many good books that we can read. And when you boil them all down, a lot of them are saying the same thing. And because everybody has their own slant on things, don't they? But when you boil it all down, you have that core of spirituality. And that can help a lot of people along their way if they're questioning things in life, for whatever reason that might be. So thank you very much for listening. I'll pass it over back to Ray.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you very much for your words. Well, friends, this morning we've now got the next part of the service, which is a demonstration of the gifts of the Spirit. Please remember to answer Jeff when you're saying yes or no to. Please be precise so Jeff knows what you're saying yes or no to, because he does see what's happening on the screen here. And also remember there's a 10 to 15 second delay sometimes. So if you saying yes to, I've got a man here with a parrot on his shoulder, just say yes, I understand the parrot on the shoulder, or no, I don't understand that, but I understand the name, whatever. Then Jeff will do his best to sort it all out from there. Friends, I ask you to extend your love and strength to Jeff this morning through the virtual world, and please remember we're streaming live on Facebook and YouTube. This is not a recording, this is live on Facebook. Sunday morning at Wimbledon Spiritualist Church for our Divine Service. I'll now hand you back to Mr. Jeff Hewitt, who will demonstrate the gifts of the Spirit. Thank you, Jeff.
Oh, hello. Back again so soon. Right, okay, so here I am looking at a screen, and I'm going to do my best to link to the spirit world. So bear with me, please. I feel I have somebody here, it might be a lady rather than a man, who had balance problems before they passed away. And I feel there's memories, it might not be with this person, it could be the person on the screen, that I'm throwing a frisbee, and they're putting in my mind the last time I worked, and I mentioned a boomerang, and of course a boomerang comes back, but a frisbee doesn't. And I know that I feel the person that I'm linking into has had somebody go out of their life, not necessarily through passing away, and the person has not returned, which is something that's been a difficulty for somebody to adjust to. I know last time, bear with me. With this group of information, I also feel the name of Malcolm. And I know last time I kept mentioning the name of Elizabeth. I feel a name of Elizabeth, or a derivative of Elizabeth. I feel this lady also wore glasses, and I feel that she would have worn the glasses that, I don't know if they're reading glasses, that you can look over and they've got the line in them. Now, can anyone understand that piece of information to start with?
There isn't at the moment.
My main, sorry? Beg your pardon.
I've got a screen down here. I can see
My main piece of information there was the person with the feeling a bit giddy and a balance problem. Okay. All right. Well, if nobody's understanding that.
Joe Smith, my nan Elizabeth, and she wore glasses.
Okay, thanks, Joe. Just to see if I am with you, can you understand if either you or somebody around you, or Elizabeth, has had a balance problem as well, or do you understand the rest of the information? Okay. Hello, Joe. So a few people can understand bits and pieces of the information. I'll just carry on. I feel the person I'm linking into would also understand somebody in the family who walked, so I'm not sure if it's, oh, here we go. I understand lady with balance problems and name Elizabeth, can take glasses, Tracy Honey. So I feel that this person also had a, you know how, so when some people, and Joe Smith has also felt a bit off with her balance. And I've got one of those walking frames. Zimmer? Zimmer. A Zimmer frame. And so I've got that with the person that I'm linking in as well. So the person in spirit world would have had to have that. Now, I do feel that there, at the moment, I'm not sure if it was Elizabeth or somebody, as it's a group of energy coming in, would have been in an old people's home, and or there was talk of going into an old people's home and having a carer.
Joe Smith saying she felt a bit dodgy with her balance.
So we're back to Joe. And Tracy says her mum had a Zimmer frame. So this happened last time. So far I've got a double connection, but I do feel, I do like to go with, yeah. Now I also feel that the expression honey would be used quite a bit. Oh, Tracy Honey.
Honey, I was just going to say that.
Old people's home, yes. Now I don't know, yeah, so I felt, because I was with a couple yesterday, old people's home, yes. Okay, Tracy. Thank you for answering, and thank you, Joe. So, Joe, if you can understand, still keep typing in, but so far I'm with Tracy. I feel that this lady is saying about things being a bit complicated around you at the moment. Your life isn't as simple as you would like, and I feel that your life is normally a bit simpler than it is at the moment. I feel that there are quite a few directions, quite a few things that you need to deal with in different areas of your life, but also the way I'm going forward, you have quite a few options of which way you can go to. I feel you're good at a lot of different things, Tracy. You're a talented person, and you've got a lot of gifts and talents, so you can turn your hand to quite a few different things. Your grandmother, Elizabeth, I'm getting the energy of think very carefully about your next step. And weigh up the pros and cons, because some, there's no right or wrong, and it's your choice, of course. That's why we're here to make our choices. But don't rush into making a quick decision. Well, I'm going to give myself a big head. She says, absolutely true, Jeff. But we do need the yeses and nos, don't we? You might not like to confirm whether somebody has gone out of your life and not come back, which was difficult. And I've got a little bit of an ache or a pain here as well. And I don't know if you've been getting some headaches, or your grandmother suffered from a few headaches as well. Okay. Now they're giving me a memory of somebody in your family who used to keep rabbits, and they had a rabbit hutch. Now, I've had this name before. They're giving me the name of Hazel again. So Tracy, Honey, and Elizabeth. Elizabeth is giving me the impression that you've felt her around you, that you're aware that she's in your energy. I just heard some tapping, and yes, gone out of life and not come back. Sorry about that. Yes, headaches. The difficult thing about this, and I hope you don't, yes, Hazel, about this, and I hope you don't mind me talk, and say if you don't want me to talk about it, but it's not having the answers, isn't it? When somebody goes and you don't get the answers. Elizabeth is giving me the impression, because it sort of leaves a hole, whereas if you get the answers, at least you know why things happened or whatever, but it was all a bit left open-ended, which isn't fair. Now, you can say no to this. I've just sort of tried to wipe that, all the information I've given you so far away, so I can link freshly to Elizabeth. And she gave me pictures on the wall, and I'm asking, why are you, yes, not having answers, yeah. Hang on. Pictures on the wall. And I don't know, I feel she's saying that you've been thinking about putting some new pictures, or a new picture on the wall, or you've just put a new picture on the wall. I'm not seeing what it is, but I got that feeling. Somebody would have had a botanical print of some kind, or a picture of a flower, rather than a botanical print, but I've got nature, a plant, picture of a plant. Yeah. I know you enjoyed seeing you're a great appreciator of nature, Tracy, because I know you appreciated the crocuses coming up about a month or so, flowering about a month or so ago. Have pictures on walls, but yes, to changing them. Very good. So that, to me, that's evidence how closely your grandmother's been around, that she's put that into my head so that I knew that you'd been thinking of changing them. Tracy, Honey. So I'm going back to Elizabeth. She's given me the impression that she had some quite deep wrinkles, that she reached a good age, and she thought that I'm getting, you know, a wisdom there, and a wisdom with the wrinkles, rather than, oh dear, I've got wrinkles, you know, nothing like that at all. And I feel that she had wavy hair gray, that went like a dark grey, kind of faded. Yes, she did. I don't know what she did too, but yeah, I'm just reading now. And as I said before, she was also known as a derivative of Elizabeth. I don't know if it's Beth, I'm not sure. I feel she was quite a thinker, quite a philosophical lady. Certainly in the spirit world, she's having a good think about things now. So I'm just going to go back and see what else you would like to say, Tracy. They're showing me a honey pot. Now, your surname is Honey, and it's one of these old-fashioned ones that definitely a thinker. Is it a beehive, or, you know, it's a fancy honey pot. It's not just a jar, and because, of course, it's a take on your name, so you would have that, wouldn't you? Yeah. Now, before I go, she's also showing me a sewing box, and it had, when you opened the lid, it had the bit that you would stick the pins in, with the ribbons and cotton at the bottom. And so I don't know. So I would feel that that's still around for her to have mentioned it, or you would remember her having that particular one. But when you open the lid, it's got the padded bit, if you know what I mean. She's saying your family spread far and wide. She's also saying you've got Irish blood in your family. I feel I won't hold back. There were people, ha ha, LOL, honeypot, yes. It's a bit of a standing joke, I guess, in the family, hey? I can see a boy in shorts, so I know he was either in the Scouts or the Boys Brigade. I'm getting the name of Charles as well. That would be in the family. I feel that there's a black and white picture, yes to Irish. I feel that there's a black and white picture. I'm not sure if it's in a frame or not, but there's a black and white photo of this little boy who's a relation in the family. I'm going back to the, if I'm getting this correctly, I'm going back to the 1920s with this, so you must have some old photographs. I know that you'd have some connections. I don't know if I'm looking at the right screen. I know you'd have some connections to Cornwall, I was going to say as well. Okay. So they're going, now they're flicking.
Yes to Charles, also a black and white photo.
Yes to Charles, yes to a black and white photo. Fantastic. But there must be a few old black and white photographs, because I'm also seeing a man in black and white going back, and very hardly any hair, a little bit of hair, and a sort of pose like that, black and white, a thinner face than mine, and I'm getting the name of Edward. So I don't know if you can understand that. Very smart, as they would have been in those days with those pictures, with those photographs, would have gone to a photographic shop to have the portrait rather than these days. We all do it ourselves, don't we? So I hope you can understand that photograph as well. So take the love of your grandparents. They show me 2 cartwheels, old cartwheels. Yes to Edward. Fantastic. They're showing me 2 cartwheels. I'm not sure why they're showing me. Hang on. I feel you can, because to me, one of my symbols for grandparents is cartwheels, because my grandparents on my mother's side had cartwheels on either side of their farm lane. And also a cartwheel can be a gypsy symbol as well, but I should be telling you rather than half guessing, shouldn't I? Well, I'm going to say I feel that you would know of stories of pony and trap, and that is why they're showing me the cartwheels. Or in one of these old photographs, there would be the pony and trap, the carriage and the horse. And I'm going to say that's why they're showing me the cartwheels. Okay. They're also telling me that you've got an unusual pencil sharpener. It's got something, the pencil sharpener bit is normal, but it's got something around it, a figurine of something, to make it a bit unusual. So you are going to be keeping on your toes and sorting things out and sharpening your pencil a little bit as well. Although things have been a bit difficult and up and down recently, I feel I'm looking forward to smoother and better times ahead. Thank you very much for letting me work with you, Tracy. If I'm still with you, I'll still get information. Otherwise, I'm going to ask the Spirit to leave. Thank you so much, Jeff, for a well-needed message today. Yes to pony and trap. Yes to old pencil sharpener. Well, thanks to you, and thanks to your grandmother, because it wasn't for her. She's come through nice and clearly to give you that message. Bless you. Okay, all right then. So thank you very much, Elizabeth. Now, who else have we got here? Well, I've got a doctor or somebody who was a chemist, certainly somebody in the medical profession. So there would have been a doctor in the family, and it's a man. I'm getting the name of Edward again. So we've got doctor. I'm going to say a connection to spiritual healing as well. So that I think I must be linked to somebody who's already in the spiritual movement, as it were. Jim. I don't know. I'm getting the name of Jim as well. I'm getting the name of Percy. Right, so I'm going to go back. I feel this gentleman would have worn glasses as well. They're also talking about a vet. So I don't know if somebody's had to go to the vet recently, or if I've got my wires, the
Karen
medical...
King is saying that her Uncle Eddie was a coroner.
Right. What's coroner?
It's the people that do postmortems.
Uh-huh.
Hospitals and
okay.
clinics. And,
oh, I gave you the name of Edward, didn't I?
Yeah.
Okay. And can you also understand, if I am with you, Karen, can you also understand either an animal needing to go to the vet recently, or somebody was a vet? Uncle Jimmy, his brother, and I gave you the name Jim,
Percy
and Percy was his grandfather.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I love it when I get a yes. But Karen King. Okay, so excuse me for a minute. Spirit people are talking, so who have I got here then? I feel there's quite a few people here, and I feel that you would understand the name of Rose in the spirit world. I feel that she's talking about some shoes that are not high heel, but have got a bit of a heel, and they're quite comfortable to wear. So I don't know if they're under your bed or in your wardrobe, and they haven't been worn for some while. But I know somebody's been complaining about a problem with their feet. So I don't know if that's footwear or something else. So Karen King. You have plans of where you're going, and they're showing me this symbolically. You've got a vision of where you want to go, and we can all say this because we've all got plans of where we're going, but it's important to you at the moment, otherwise they wouldn't have mentioned it. And I do feel that you have a very long-term plan that you know won't come to fruition for a good while, as there's quite a lot of journey needed in order to get there. And if you don't mind me saying, Spirit are saying don't lose sight of this long-term plan.
Jeff, she's just said you had to put a kitten
Just
down.
had to have a kitten put to sleep.
Yeah, so the vet would come in there.
Aunt Rose used to moan at my shoes.
So it's all making sense.
So it's all making sense. We've got a connection, and I'm with Karen King. Okay, very good. So, yeah. So they're also saying you must be a great cat lover because you've given somebody a card, or somebody sent you a card with a kitten on it. Not necessarily just now, but they're showing me that as well. And I don't know if that kitten had a little bow on it or in the picture. There's a few things that I've moved, and I'm going to Alaska next year and New Zealand 2023. Okay, good. Right. Yeah. So, excuse me a minute. I'm just going to link to Spirit. I feel I've got the name of Jack here as well. And I know we have people who had, you could say this about everybody, but I don't like football, a great love of football. I used to rescue cats. I have 10 at the minute.
Okay. She's travelling as well, she said before that.
There's a man here in the spirit world who was very musical, and I feel he was very accomplished on the piano. And I know going back in your family, we have memories of sing-songs around the piano. I'm not sure if this, I feel that this was actually in a front room. Jack was my other granddad. Well, I asked for somebody to come through because rather than just throwing information at you, it's nice for me to actually have an individual, even though we know it's all coming from the same person. But I think that's part of my job. Sing songs. And I'm getting Roll Out the Barrel as one of them. We have Mary in the spirit world as well for you. We have Anne in the spirit world as well. So, Karen King. Football mad Leicester City. Brilliant.
Someone has to be.
Ray just said somebody has to be. Yes, my cousin used to play concerts. Fantastic, because I felt it wasn't just playing
Sing along in a pub as well.
Used to sing along in pub. Well, that would be Roll Out the Barrel and the sing along, wouldn't it? Mary was my friend. Anne was my mother-in-law, and Elizabeth as well. And I could give you a bit of a roll call of names. And as I say the name, as I say roll call, I know somebody passed in the war, and their name is on a memory board.
It's also saying Mary was a friend and Anne was her mother-in-law.
I felt living might be a person called Sophie. So let me go back to spirit. They're talking about, I suppose it's Old Lang Syne, or it might have been a birthday, but when you had a family gathering and everyone was linked arms, and you were linked in a circle, linking arms and singing a song. I have that as a memory as well. And they're saying, you know, we're all linked, and we're all connected. They're showing me that game, pick-up sticks, and it was lots and lots of plastic rods, and it was just a game, and you sort of threw them on the floor, and you had to remove the sticks without moving any of the others, something like that. So I don't know if you can understand that game. And they, Elizabeth was Anne's sister. Yes, Uncle Fred died in the war. I'm wondering if Sophie, my daughter's friend, yeah, I thought always Old Lang Syne, regardless of time of year. Oh. So they're coming through with lots of evidence there for you. Now, I feel that Fred, Uncle Fred, who was the guy I was talking about in the war, would have gone to North Africa, pig sticks at the vicarage. Good. I don't know what pig sticks are, but we used to have quick up, what did I call it? Pick-up sticks. So that was their way of giving me pig sticks. Oh, I have to find out what that is. Right. Somebody used to have a whippet dog as well. It was quite a shy animal with a nervous disposition. And I want to give you that as well. I could give you lots of names. I'm giving you the name of Jill as well. And there was a lady here who's now in the spirit world called Jill Hay. So I don't know if you knew Jill Hay, but they just gave me that name. Either or, they're giving me, I do feel that she's coming through, I have to be honest. And giving you her best wishes. Now, I don't know if she had a thinning of the hair or somebody around you has had a thinning of the hair, but I feel that was appropriate as well. Collect sticks, throw in the air, collect marked ones. Thank you. Yeah, great. Okay. Well, I'll ask the spirit for 3 more things, and then I'll ask for somebody else to come through, if that's the time for me to move on to somebody else. Somebody in your family used to have a goat, and they used to tie it up somewhere so that they didn't have to mow the grass, and or to keep the weeds down. I feel they're talking about, Uncle Fred died in Kenya. Jill was his daughter, so it was the name of Jill. You had whippets as children. Well, I can't remember where I was now. So anyway. I'm also getting the name of Tony, and I'm jangling my change in my pocket, and I feel that that's something that he used to do. And you used to have a goat, so that's the 2 things I've got for you. And the 3rd thing, There's a lady here in the spirit world, and I just heard her say, "I'm sorry I didn't get to say goodbye before she passed away." But we're also saying hello, because as you know, we can link with our minds and with our thoughts. And as I've said before, it can be so subtle. So although in the physical it's important and it's nice to say goodbye, but when we do have that knowledge, if people don't, it can take away any remorse that they didn't, because they can think, well, I can still have that connection. And I feel that might apply to somebody else who's not receiving the message, who's thinking, you know, oh, I carry it with me that I never said goodbye. Well, you can take away a lot of that with the thought of, I can and I know they're around me, and it's still a hello. It's just in a different form. Of course, it's not the, that would be my biological mum. It's not the same, and it doesn't take it all away, but it does take some of it away. And if it's something that somebody is feeling bad about and they've got a hang up about, it lessens the blow. Okay, Karen, thank you very much for letting me work with you. And let's see where we're going next. No hello, no goodbye, only at the graveside. Bless you, Karen. Bear with me. Okay, right. So, are we all still here? Let's see where we're going. I've got some boxing gloves on. I feel I've got somebody who wore a few boxing gloves. Now, I might be with you, Ray, but then I might be with people here, because I'm just getting a sense of your father, Derek, and I don't know if he was a boxer, but I do know that he had the boxing gloves. But let's see where we're going. I'm also getting the name of Grace, and I'm getting the name of Stanley. I know somebody, so again, this is a group of energy, a group of information. Thank you, Karen. I'm glad you understood that. Bless you. Your spirit communicators are very, very strong there with you, aren't they? Makes my job easier. Right, so we had a boxer. I felt a family where they had kept chickens. I feel World War II connections as well. So I've got the name of Julie, but that might be somebody here. And I've not sure if it's a birthday or a wedding for somebody around now. So there's an anniversary. I'm going to say there's an anniversary around now as well. Like it might even be today, or yesterday, or tomorrow. Right. So I started with the boxing. I wanted to see if anyone can understand that. I'm going to say I've got a bit of a Trekkie as well. So it might be that somebody around here, or could be in the spirit world, who's a bit of a Trekkie, a Star Trek fan.
Helen says she had a granddad who was a boxer.
And you can take Stanley Road. Let's see the name is Stanley. Great, Helen. Can you understand the rest of the information? Birthday, my daughter-in-law. Was that today, yesterday, or tomorrow? Because if it is, then I'd say that's a deal breaker or a clincher. My dad was a sparring partner. His brother was Stanley. He died in my kept chickens, Marilyn Webb. So bear with me. I have to say I've got somebody who liked the cricket as well. daughter birthday yesterday, had chickens, dad boxer. So there's quite a few people who can answer, 3 people so far. So I had a cricket fan as well. Now, Julie Hurst. That's 4 people. Granddad was a boxer. Stanley. His name was Stanley. Kept chickens, and I'm Julie. Yeah. I feel I'm with Julie, but bear with me, and please do speak up if whoever can understand this. So I'll ask the spirit people to come a bit closer. I keep getting the same names, don't I? I'm also getting the name of Rose. I feel that everybody loves roses. I feel you love roses. I feel you associate a rose, Julie, with a person in the spirit world as well. There's a special significance. I've got a silver anniversary that was celebrated as well. I'm getting the same name, I'm getting Edward as well. And I know I can see there's a picture of Julie here with a young boy, but I'm seeing a skateboard as well. And so I don't know if you can, if it doesn't have to be him, but if people around you are like their skateboards. I'm seeing a large lawn. Julie Hurst, yes, a special rose. Edward, stroke Ted, yes. I'm seeing a large lawn, and I feel there was a gentleman in the spirit world who was very close to you, relative, and he had a very large lawn that he would have to mow. And of course, he would always wait for the dew to have evaporated, because I'm seeing a very dewy lawn, before he cut the grass. I have to say, I thought he was saying, well, I'm glad I don't have to cut that grass anymore, or that lawn. So I don't know if you can understand that. Yes, the boy is my son, and he had a skateboard. I've got the number 10 as well, which I don't know if 10 is relevant. And I feel going back, there would have been 10 in the family as well. And through that, I'm getting Irish blood with you also, Julie, in your family. I don't know if you know the name of Anderson, or you were somewhere where there was an Anderson shelter in the garden. You can be, like a lot of us, you can be a bit of a worrier, Julie. And I know it's good, I don't know if you knit, but it's good to take up a hobby, because it can take your mind off things. Not that there's anything to worry about, but sometimes people are just natural worriers. I know you've had a concern about, you have had a concern about somebody around you recently, about their condition, and I know that they're it was normally me cutting the lawn. Okay, but can you understand? Oh, so you don't need to cut the lawn anymore. Did that message make sense? He said, oh, thank goodness I don't have to cut the lawn. Well, maybe he's saying, I feel it's a man, I feel it's your father or grandfather, and he's saying, I can't change it. Oh, thank goodness I don't have to cut the lawn anymore. Or maybe I got that wrong, and they're saying, lucky you. Yes, Irish links. New Henderson. Good. Now, just to give, Spirit will sometimes talk in code, and sometimes they'll talk word for word. And sometimes it's pictures, sometimes you hear, and quite often you feel. And when I'm feeling a bit nervous, it just sort of races in my mind, which I need to calm myself down. Spirit just showed me the medium Rose Anderson. And so through her first name, we had the Rose to start with, and through her second name, they gave me the Anderson, and that's how they were working with me, just to let you know how I was working there. They've given me 6 on a dice before, and they're giving me that as well again. They're talking to me about a very tall tree. To me, it's a conifer or a spruce that was very tall. I'm not sure if this is in a park or in somebody's garden. I know that there was a very tall Christmas tree, and perhaps you don't have them as tall anymore, but there's a memory of a tree that was huge, that was used as a Christmas tree. I want to give you that as well. And as I give you that, I know that there are some anniversaries very close to the Christmas time as well. Now, one of your relatives is saying that they had to give up their driving license because they reached a good age, that they thought that they should give up their driving license. And I don't know if you're a bit like me. When you're driving, your mind's on all sorts of other things. And this isn't a warning, by the way, but they're just saying, you know, concentrate on the road and deal with other things later. You or someone around you, you're having knee problems. And I feel that this gentleman who came through before, yes, to tree, was massive. Yeah, I saw it undecorated rather than decorated, but I knew it was used for Christmas. I'm going to stick my neck out and say that you've seen a tree recently, or you will see a tree, that will remind you of the massive tree, Christmas tree, because they showed it to me almost like in a park or something, or you have done. And as I've said many times, how subtle spirit work, you know, somebody who wasn't into this sort of thing would just think it was chance, but that spirit's way of sort of hooking onto a piece of something in the physical world and sort of heightening it in your mind. And so I know that's how spirit are working with you. I don't know if it's you or, there was a lady in the spirit world who used to have her hair in curlers and put a plastic thing or something over her hair while she had her curlers in. So you or someone around you has just had a new hairdo or just had your hair done. I also want a special occasion because I'm making myself look good, and that's coming up. You always look good, but this is a special occasion. I feel you've got several nice dresses that for special occasions, and you're thinking, which one shall I choose for this particular occasion that's coming up? Now, I hope you can take that. To me, giving you that sort of information is just Spirit's way of saying, well, we're around you because we know what's been going on. Okay, Julie, well, I hope you can understand that.
Tree was big, garden, and yes to knee problem. Nan used to curl her hair.
Okay. Did you hear that then? The tree was in the big garden. Oh, okay. Was that the one that you used to cut the grass? And yes to knee problem. Nan used to curl her hair. My hair's being done tomorrow. There we are. And you have a wedding coming up. Hurrah! Yeah.
When you've done with that, that's it, Jeff.
Really?
Yeah.
No more?
Almost quarter past and going.
Okay.
Jackie and I have got to shoot out.
Okay. I've been called to time. And thank you very much, Julie, for letting me work with you. And I'll hand it back to Ray. Bless you, and thank you for watching, everybody.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you all very much. I hope you've enjoyed that this morning. Thank you. And you've got somebody here called Pamela Rogers saying, Jeff, it's amazing, fabulous evidence. So well done, Jeff.
Oh, thank you.
Well done. Well, friends, I've got a few adverts. I know we've got the Sunday sofa this afternoon talking about aliens, and I'm not sure what else. Sunday sofa at 2 o'clock. And I am right to say, Richard, they're talking about aliens today, aren't they? And a special guest on as well. And tonight it's VIP, isn't it? VIP tonight, mediumship readings and free mediumship training. It's always a very good evening, and do go along and watch that. And while you're doing that, why not join and become a patron to Spiritual Psychics TV? Okay, and Kirsty and Matt shows on tomorrow evening at 8:30 and not 8 o'clock. So please come along and watch that as well. It's a very good evening. Tomorrow afternoon, Stace Shaw is doing readings on the Spiritual Psychics TV. So we wish Stace very good and all the best with that tomorrow. On Wednesday, Jackie's got a friendship club, which is a Zoom meeting, and on Thursday, she's got the spiritual picnic, psychic picnic. I'll call it spiritual picnic. So that's probably why nobody's ever there when I go, because I go on a spiritual picnic. So the psychic picnic with Jackie Robinson's there as well. And Phil Shaw's the medium on Wednesday. So I hope you've all enjoyed the service. Thank you very much, Jeff. Thank you very much indeed for today. I hope you've enjoyed it. I would just like to mention a few birthdays, if I can, that's part of the church. We've had a past birthday for a young lady called Ivy May, who's Julie Caswell's daughter. Some of you will know Julie Caswell. It's also Tracy Jones's birthday today. Happy birthday to you, Tracy. Stephen Mason will be next week, Monday week. Leslie Knight, Wednesday. And June Malkin, who's one of our healers here, along with many others, it's her birthday as well. And they're all 21. They wish. Tina, thank you very much. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Richard, Ray, and everyone for a great morning service. So that's nice. So, my friends, I think that we've come to the end for the day. Next week, we have Michelle Scott as our medium. And we look forward to seeing, I'm not sure if Michelle's going to be here or virtually at home, but I'll find out during the week and let Richard know. And I'll ask Jeff now to close our meeting with prayer.
And I just wanted to offer my congratulations to Rachel and her partner for their birth of their son. It's fantastic news. We bow our heads in prayer. Loving Father God, Divine Spirit, we thank you once again for this opportunity to send our thoughts up on a spiritual slant on this Sunday. We ask for a blessing on everybody here watching and everybody here present, and a blessing on your families. And we ask that God's light might light our path, show us the way where we feel it's needed. In your name, which is love, amen.
Amen. Thank you all very much. I'd like to thank our producer, Richard James, for today's show and all the shows that he does for Wimbledon Spiritualist Church. My name is Ray Robinson. I welcome you to Wimbledon Spiritualist Church and look forward to welcoming you next Sunday to our church and our medium, Michelle Scott. Good morning. God bless you all, friends. Bye-bye.